Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 701. My name is Kyle.
My name is James.
And my name is Zach.
I'm here to talk movies, movie lists, and movie obsession for the next hour or so. Guys, you feeling rested after our week off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I needed it
Yeah.
after that episode.
After counting down, 300 movies together?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Definitely. Now we don't have to do it again for like another, 100 weeks or so.
Another 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully in 2 years, we'll all be here to still do it.
That would be great. Wouldn't that be
Hopefully-
nice?
I really hope that's what happens.
Hopefully
Yeah.
none of us are no longer with us. at that
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Actually, this is one of the rare episodes where Zach is with us right now, but later will no longer be with us.
Yeah. Sad to say, I'll no longer be with you. You're going to talk about Tron Ares, but I didn't see Tron Ares.
Do
Yep.
you want to see
So-
Tron Ares?
No.
Okay.
There you go.
It's got that guy that I do not like,
Jeff
Jared Leto?
Bridges.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
I do not like him.
Yep.
Sam, I am.
I do not care for the Leto man.
Is it really Jared Leto or is it just like his output recently? Like, did you like Requiem for a Dream? Did you like Dallas
course.
Buyers Club?
Not particularly.
What are
Oh,
your
really?
thoughts on my so-called life?
Was he in that?
I don't know. Stay tuned in the episode later and find out.
That's just Claire Danes to me.
Okay, that's Claire Danes to you.
I've always been tempted to watch My So-Called Life. Should I?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I
You would
think you
love it.
should dabble in it just to like get an idea of what a late 90s MTV teen drama is like.
It didn't last very long, right? Like a season or two.
Only a couple seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think James would absolutely love it.
I like what's the movie that had or the TV show that had James Franco and Seth
Freaks and
Rogen in it?
Geeks?
Freaks and Geeks. I loved Freaks and Geeks.
This is not Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, I know it's not that at all.
No. This is like the moody, way
It's more
moodier
angsty.
version. Yeah.
Way more angsty. All right.
Yeah. It's like everyone's just flannels and depression.
Sure. Interesting. Well, I have a check-in this week.
Okay.
And that's that I went to Epic Universe here at Universal Orlando, the new theme park here in Orlando.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Epic
Tell us
Universe.
all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Epic. I thought maybe the listeners might be interested in hearing a firsthand experience at Epic. It was great. Super fun. A little expensive, but it's a theme park, so you got to kind of, I guess, roll with that. You got to know
Like, what
you're
are we
getting into.
talking? Ticket price.
$200 for the day.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's up there.
That's
Is
kind
that
of the
just ticket
going
price?
rate.
Or is
That-
that food too?
That's before food. That's just to get through the gate at the front. Yep.
Do they sell all-inclusive tickets?
It depends on what you mean by that. You mean like with meal plans on them?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They sell meal plan tickets. They don't do that at Epic, I don't think. I don't know that for sure. But they definitely do that at Universal and at Islands of Adventure. But right now they don't even have a season pass that like includes Epic because they're getting as much money as they can for the people that want to come to a new theme park. And then once the attendance slows down, I'm sure they'll create packages with the other two theme parks. But for now, it's on par with a single day Disney ticket, that $200 cost roughly. But with Epic, every time I walked off, on the 3 or 4 different rides, when I walked off, the immediate thing I thought of was Disney is so screwed.
Really?
I mean, they have absolutely nothing that compares to some of the things that they have at Epic.
Like even better than Rise of the Resistance?
Rise of the Resistance is maybe the exception. Like, so the like my 3 favorite things at Epic are just above Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, okay.
And what
From
are
a-
those 3?
From a technology aspect. If I ignore the theme, you know what I mean? The 3 would be let's see if I can do this in order. The first one would probably be Donkey Kong. I forget the actual ride. it's called.
It's like the Minecraft, or not the Minecraft, but the minecart.
It's a mine cart, but the actual track that you're on is way below you, and the track that you see is a false track. So there's like all kinds of like jumps from one place to another that are impossible, and like the track just like completely dropping out and being all scraggly. And from your viewpoint, it looks like those things are happening when in reality there's a track way below you that's kind of hidden.
That's cool.
Not really hidden, but kind of hidden, especially when you're actually on the ride. So that was super fun and felt like a kiddie ride that adults could enjoy. And I can't think of too many of those at Disney.
What about like Thunder Railroad?
Thunder Railroad I love, but it definitely shows its age at this point.
Yeah, I mean, when we were there, it was closed. I haven't ridden that since I was 10. So yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Next, I would go the Super Mario Kart, which was kind of bonkers. They had did you guys ever ride, I'm pretty sure Kyle has, the Pixar ride where you're like going through Toy Story things and you're like firing guns at screens and stuff like that? I don't know if you remember this.
The Buzz Lightyear one?
No, it's not Buzz Lightyear. It's
the one with the alien.
This one's at Hollywood Studios. I forget what it's called.
No,
I think it's called Toy Story Mania.
I don't think I did that one last time I was there.
Well, we were there together. I don't remember if we rode it or not.
We did not do it, no.
Anyway, it's like that, but instead of seeing screens and like things popping up and stuff like that, it was AR. So you had a screen in front of your face, and it was projecting the images of the other drivers, because it's a Mario Kart ride, of the other drivers in your field of view and building it into a real life situation. Hard to describe. And then everybody's experience is different, and you're firing at the other people with your controller, and it's tallying up your points at the end. Just really, really cool technology.
Is it a motion ride, or you're actually like moving forward in space with the screen in front of you?
It's a motion ride.
Okay, so
it's a haunted house one where you're going from room to room.
Okay.
Style dark ride, they call them. Then I would say the Frankenstein ride in the Universal Monsters area, which I have like no real attachment with Frankenstein or anything, but the technology was, if you've ever ridden Spider-Man at Islands of Adventure, it's like that, but with just way more screens and animatronic interaction. There were times where I could not tell the difference between an animatronic and something on a screen. And that's kind of impressive, that it's just kind of constantly switching back and forth. And like the graphics are in line with what the actual animatronic looks like, enough that it's hard to perceive as you're going from room to room. Also, that one was like 5 minutes long.
Oh,
how expensive that would be to make a 5-minute long dark ride. It was massive. I was shocked. And then the best ride there, I'm sad to report, was the freaking Harry Potter ride. The third time they've made a Harry Potter ride in these parks, and it is by far the best, most technologically advanced ride I've ever ridden. It was insane. Basically, you take the cart that you're sitting in Tower of Terror, right? Just a big box, with 3 rows, and you're all facing one direction. And then they put it on an arm that can do any movement at all, with like a dozen people sitting in this box. This entire thing's just like moving you all around, all over the place. And screens combined with animatronics. But when I say screens, I'm talking 4 to 5 story LED screens.
Wow.
Room after room of them. And they put the kids in another elevator across from you, but they made their elevator practical. So they're like hiding the rail of the practical elevator with the kids in it, the Harry Potter kids in it. And so that part is actually real, with holograms inside of the kids reacting inside their elevator. Like that's opposite you the entire time. So you're like flying through the Ministry of Magic in your own box, but experiencing it with the kids who are also in their own elevator.
Wow.
Experiencing it. And we read when we were in line that it cost $7 billion to build that theme park, and I believe it.
You saw every dollar of that.
Every penny on every ride I went on, I was like, oh yeah, they did not cheap out on this at all. On top of that, it's just because they divided it into 4 different worlds and literally make you go through a portal. You could tell they took all the lessons from the other Harry Potter worlds that they made that people loved and raved over, with like sight lines and like, just like making a wow factor when you enter an area. And they did that 4 times with each area.
Wow.
And I was just really, really impressed. And I think the only way you can do that is just make a new theme park. I don't think Disney can like retrofit their rides and make it as cool as that was. You'd have to like destroy Fantasyland and rebuild it to get the same wow factor that they were getting from me. Anyway, it was cool. Again, a little pricey. And also, I think if you have kids, they need to be roller coaster age.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a
Gotcha.
They also had 2 shows there. Both of them blew my mind. I won't even talk about the Harry Potter one, but the How to Train Your Dragon one, they had Toothless, a full-size Toothless, flying above in this enclosed theater. Like a full-size animatronic that they had suspended on wires flying above people, like 10 feet above my head. It was wild. Anyway, yeah, so if you have kids, maybe wait till they can do baby coasters. But if you're like a young adult or a teenager, it is the park for you. That's what the rides are, for sure. Anyway.
Nice.
Anybody else get up to anything in the last week and a half or so?
I mean, I went to an apple orchard. not very exciting compared to Epic Universe. So.
No, it's all good. Did you pick apples or just buy them?
We did not pick. We there's an apple orchard like 10 minutes from our house, which is awesome.
Nice.
And yeah, so we just went there, and they have like apple cider donuts and things for kids to do and animals, and
Sweet.
It's like free to get in there. Like it doesn't cost anything. You can just go hang out. So
sure.
Yeah.
The perfect family time killer, right?
It is, but it's fun. And like it's it's fall here in Wisconsin. Leaves are changing. It's flannel weather.
Nice.
Great. Yeah.
It's clearly flannel weather here in Florida too.
Yeah, I mean Zach's definitely he's ready for fall also.
For sure. Anyway. All right. You guys want to jump into some movies?
Let's talk some movies.
All right. Before we do that, though, I need to remind everybody there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. You could also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. You could also leave us an Apple Podcast review, 5 stars only, or send us an email, heyguys@cinereelists.com, REEL with an S on the end. Send us a comment, a question, a list suggestion, a movie suggestion. Pretty much you can send us anything via email, and we will most likely discuss it on a future episode. Links are in the description to any and all of those things. We're going to talk one battle after another right after this clip.
Rise and shine.
Bat an eyelash.
Good morning.
There are no hands on the clock.
Why?
Because they're not needed.
What time is it?
I don't remember that part. All right, let's just not nitpick over the password stuff. Look, this is Bob Ferguson. All right, you just called my house. Let's cut the. I need the rendezvous point.
What time is it?
Look, Steve Lockjaw just attacked my home. I lost my daughter. This is Bob Ferguson. You understand?
Right.
I don't remember any more of this. I don't remember any more of this code speak. All right, let's just get on with what is the rendezvous point.
That was One Battle After Another, a movie that is in theaters now, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson and starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, and Chase Infinity, amongst others. The official IMDb plot synopsis for One Battle After Another is: when their evil enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue the daughter of one of their own.
Did you read that from IMDb?
Yeah. I think so.
Letterboxd has the exact same summary word for word, except they swap out enemy with nemesis.
Hmm.
I find very
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like New Zealand? They don't like the word enemy or something?
Right. Nemesis is clearer. I'm not sure. That's a great question.
I mean, if they both had such a close plot description, I'm wondering if that was like studio issued.
It could be. Okay, so and then Letterboxd, they get their information from the TMDB,
Mm-hmm.
but the TMDB has a different overview. So I'm not sure how Letterboxd determines their overviews, to be completely honest. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that it was nearly word for word minus
That
one.
is fascinating, actually. I'm curious about that.
Let's dive into that, guys. I think that's the real focus of the episode. How does Letterboxd write their reviews, their summaries?
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so this is a big one. We all love Paul Thomas Anderson on this podcast, right? I'm not speaking out of turn.
For sure.
I think I love him the least of the three of us.
Oh, okay.
But I still really like his movies.
Sure. Sure you do. Not as much as me and Zach, though, clearly.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah, so anytime a PTA movie's coming out, I'm all ears. He's got a very impressive batting average for sure, and is a part of like my film journey, I would say. You know, I discovered what's the name of the movie?
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights. With pretty much when everybody discovered him when he released Boogie Nights. And I've been on board ever since, liked almost everything he's released since. And so always excited for a movie that he releases. And then this one happened. What'd you guys think of it?
Which one of us saw it most recently? I think that's the first question.
Not me. I saw it like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Same here. Yeah.
Sure. I saw it probably the most recently.
Okay.
And Zach, you're probably the biggest PTA head of the group.
Yes, I'm a very big fan of Paul Thomas Anderson. I think that he is, I think he's an incredible director.
How about you kick us off then?
And writer. Sure. I probably have a contrarian take to you guys. I don't think I liked this movie.
Okay, thanks. James, what do you think?
Zach,
keep going.
I also found it wanting, for the record.
Oh, interesting that the PTA non-fan here liked it the most.
Oh,
but,
you're a non-fan?
Well, I mean, compared to you two, I wouldn't call myself a super fan. All right, Zach, continue, please. I'm curious I want to hear both of your guys' take on what you found wanting about it.
There are parts of this film that I think are iconic. Like, for instance, Sean Penn's character. I think it's an incredibly iconic character portrayal. I've never seen, one, Sean Penn do a role like this. But two, I've never seen a character like this. I think it's so unique and specific and fascinating. I think it's a really, really interesting character. I also really like the daughter actress, and her performance I thought was fantastic. The movie does have some like strange elements to it, though. I don't understand its take on the protagonists. Like, the movie's about revolutionaries, and I find a very muddling message about what they're doing. I find it very muddled. Leo's character, he's the main protagonist of this film, I would say. His character is so bumbling to the point of being I don't like his character. And I feel like the movie is just using him for comedic effect in a way that like is unnecessary and it only subtracts from the film. There's some psychosexual stuff that I just couldn't understand its place. I just couldn't get behind it. There's some interesting like secret cult kind of stuff in there, and that stuff was all really good. It's like light satire and interesting and stuff like that. It made the world of this movie a little bit bigger and more interesting. So there's definitely stuff going on. And I will say that the movie improved for me as it went along. So my least favorite part was the first act that dealt a lot with the mother character, who I just could not connect with at all. I don't understand that character. I don't believe that character. And then the strongest act was the third act. For me, I enjoyed that quite a bit. And then there's a chase scene in the third act, which I thought elevated the film. I really enjoyed that. It felt Hitchcockian to me. And yeah, so I have a complicated view of this film. There's things I definitely liked, things I definitely didn't like. I think on the whole, I don't think I liked this movie, but I'm still forming my opinion of it.
Interesting. All right.
James?
Yeah, James, I'm here.
Yeah, I've had a little more time to digest it, and I'm not sure my opinion has changed a whole lot from the day I walked out of it, too. One, it's too long. Needed to be just a normal runtime movie, like 2 hours. Really no reason for this to be 2.5 hours, I don't feel. Like Zach, the most memorable thing from this movie by far is Sean Penn and his kind of like military character, and just kind of the confusion that character himself seemed to have with his own emotions kind of reflected my feelings about him as a character. It's like I didn't fully understand why he was just so weird about everything, so vindictive, but also like confusingly obsessed with the daughter character type of thing, and certainly the mother earlier on in the movie. The quote unquote psychosexual stuff in the beginning between him and the mother, I'm not sure I understand it, but I was fine with it for the most part. My biggest issue with the movie is runtime and just Leonardo DiCaprio's character being such a kind of goofball, a little idiotic. He seems to rally a little bit towards the end, like Zach said, with the chase sequence. The movie kind of becomes more of like a chase thriller towards the end. And I liked some of the different locations they visit over the course of those sequences, but it just took so long to get there. And I really only cared about seeing how the Sean Penn Teyana Taylor relationship resolves itself. Everything else I lost interest in, just because it felt like it dragged over the course. And I just don't like when PTA does movies where you can tell he's trying to be funny. I couldn't with Inherent Vice. I didn't like it at all in Inherent Vice, and that's what most of that movie is. Although Inherent Vice squeaks in very realistic things in the context of this bumbling character. And this one wasn't quite as cartoony as Inherent Vice, so it was easier to forgive it. I definitely like this more than Inherent Vice, but yeah, I just felt like there was fat to be trimmed here. And I think PTA likes his characters, and he likes spending as much time as he wants to with these characters. And sometimes the long ones work. They will be blood. And sometimes they just feel long. That was the case with One Battle After Another for me. What'd you think about it, Kyle?
Well, I want to Zach really quick. Zach, do you like Inherent Vice?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I didn't know if maybe this was a 1-to-1, but
It's not a show opinion for sure. It's
all right.
James opinion.
I really like this movie.
Okay.
And I would say this is towards the top of my list of 2025 as of right now.
Okay.
I agree that for me, by far the most compelling part of this movie is that Sean Penn character. Because Sean Penn plays it so well, and he plays this rather despicable guy with so much complication that he feels like a real person and not just like a wall to be dealt with. Mm-hmm. You know, we mentioned sort of the psychosexual relationship he has with the mother at the beginning of the movie, And I think seeing that informs so much of who this guy was. And then you compare what he did at the beginning of the movie to what he's trying to do in the back half of it. And I found that to be such a compelling and conflicted and interesting character. And I think to me, that's what I like most about this movie, and maybe what PTA is really strong with is the characters. Like, you guys didn't mention Benicio del Toro at all. He plays this like karate dojo owner who's also running like he calls it what, like a Latino Underground Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to help out like immigrants in the area, and he's sort of kind of weaves in and out of the story multiple times. Like, he's part of a good chunk of it. He leaves and he comes back. And like, oh great, he's back. I was happy to see him come back. The mother, played by Tiana Taylor, her name's like Perfetti or something like that. I thought she was incredible, both her performance and her character. I wish she was in more of the movie. She's really only in the first half of the movie.
She was probably my least favorite part of this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I believed her to be a true radical, a true revolutionary, whereas Leonardo DiCaprio seemed to be in it for other reasons.
I disagree.
Really? You didn't believe her to be like true to the cause?
No, absolutely not.
Movie, I guess she does have a turn. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The movie plays that out pretty explicitly. That and also I think her main motivation of all of this was just as a kink. Like, honestly, that was pretty forefront on her mind most of the time.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I kind of, it's been a while. I kind of forgot about what she does in the middle there.
Right.
So maybe I will back off the true revolutionary part for a second. But I really liked her performance, and I did like that character. So I was bummed to see her not in the rest of the movie. Whereas, obviously, Zach, you're okay with that.
For sure. I do agree with you about Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the movie would be vastly improved if Leonardo DiCaprio wasn't even in it. And Benicio del Toro played the role of that character, like how that character was necessary for the movement of the plot. Not that same character. He just played his own character, but he filled that spot because he had interesting things going on, and he actually lived as an older person as a revolutionary. Whereas in the world of this movie, people are like diehard revolutionaries. Like, they devote their life to, until things get like dicey, and then they just all hang up their coats and like live a life in hiding. You know what I mean? Like, I do not understand the ethos of this movie, where like people are like on fire for the cause, and then like they might get caught, and so they spend the rest of their life hiding. Like, instead of like, what are you doing? Like, why are you retired? Like, keep going. You know what I mean? And everyone's like protecting them in retirement. They're just like cows or horses take out to pasture. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why these characters go from sold out revolutionaries to just retired, people in hiding. It makes no sense to me.
Whereas like
Benicio del Toro's character wasn't. He was actively doing things.
Right, he was still involved. I see that. I guess I don't. For me, I could see Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't think he was ever in it for the cause in the first place. Like, I think Benicio del Toro's character saw the importance of it, and that's why he was still in it, even in the old generation. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think for him, it was a bit of a kink thing also. Maybe not so much like getting off on the violence, but more of like, this girl pays attention to me. I'm good at this one thing, and I'm getting attention from this girl. So heck, let's keep this going. And then once all that motivation is gone for him, and he, is a father and has his motivation changed, then he's ready to move on and hang it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he ever was a diehard in the first place. I liked DiCaprio's character in this movie, and maybe because I like it when DiCaprio plays bumbling, like he did in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Killers of the Flower Moon, he's not like a bumbling idiot, but he's not a very smart character either. He thinks he's smart. He thinks he's doing the right things, but you realize how much he's being used and manipulated. And I kind of like it when DiCaprio's playing sort of not the smartest guy in the room. And in this case, he's not the smartest guy in the room, partially because he's fried his brain on drugs also.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie sort of pointed out some of the ridiculousness of like secret society. You mentioned the one, James, that or not James, sorry, Zach, that Sean Penn wanted to join, the Christmas Adventurers, which was very silly. But even the organization that DiCaprio was a part of, like, had all these rules and codes, and he's trying to like do something real, and they're like, well, do you know the code word? And I found that to be kind of a funny satire of what's important. Is the code important, or is like the actual work here important?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it the pageantry of it all? Yeah. And then you kind of mentioned, and another moment that I loved, I think worked for his character, is when he's on the run and Benicio del Toro sends some of like his guys to like run across rooftops with him. And these guys are like parkouring across the rooftops and jumping from one to the next. And middle-aged DiCaprio like cannot keep up. I found that to be funny. Just to show like, here's the young guys who can still do it, who can still be a part of it, and these old guys got to move on and retire from it.
Honestly, when what you're describing is like all the parts of the movie I like.
Okay.
you're describing, well, like when Benicio del Toro shows up and everything kicks into gear and it becomes a chase movie. I liked all that stuff. It's everything that leads up before that just kind of felt dry and long for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel, Zach?
Yeah, I liked all those same parts, Kyle. I thought that was great. And I really loved when it got into the procedural like stuff about like secret codes and secret, things, and like, I'm gonna walk through this house and go into a tunnel system. And I loved all the machinations of these like secret societies and stuff like that. I thought that was really fun, and I wanted more of that. I wanted more of the guys saying like, okay, memorize this and then throw it away. Like, here's a thing that plays music if you're near someone that you can trust.
Oh yeah,
which
that
seemed
cool.
like an incredibly unnecessary technology and step, and like the battery on that thing I'm curious about. But it's a ridiculous item, but I liked it, and I like anything involved with that kind of stuff. And the White Supremacist Society I thought was like funny, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of out of a different movie in a way. Like, it had just a very different sensibility. Not
Yes.
very different, but different enough that it was its own little micro universe. But it was interesting, and you know what I mean, like with the Christmas Adventure Club and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, the scene where the daughter character is driven to another location, and then the guys that are like going after her end up like killing each other or whatever.
Oh, she's like being dropped off, like she's being
Yeah.
muled somewhere, and then yes,
That was my favorite scene in the whole movie, by far.
Yeah.
Because of the tension and like us as audience members, there's just so many possibilities of how this could go.
Mhm.
But the way it went was like a very PTA way, in my opinion. In that, like, all of those things, of course, what happens. You know what I mean? In a PTA movie. Yeah, I love that scene. But really, like, everything from Benicio del Toro on, I was on board for.
I guess I was just on board from the beginning. And I think for me, it was like Tiana Taylor's character sucked me into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Penn kept me going. And then Benicio del Toro was the handoff. Right. So I think those three performances really kept it together for me. And I was not bothered by DiCaprio like you guys were.
It wasn't even like what DiCaprio was doing. It's just more just like, I don't know. It wasn't DiCaprio's performance. I just didn't buy him as the main lead of the movie.
Okay.
You could have kind of cut him out and just had her on the run. You know what I mean? Had Benicio del Toro helping her.
Oh, what a great suggestion, James.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the first person that's ever thought about that. Clearly.
I think we can all agree Leo DiCaprio just doesn't have like a star quality,
He really doesn't.
Like, he can't be a leading man.
They might as well have just put Jared Leto in there.
Yeah, Jared Leto could have carried this movie, no problem.
Will Sean Penn get an Oscar for this film?
I mean, he's at least getting a nomination, and
I hope he gets a nomination at minimum.
yeah, at minimum, he could get an Oscar. I could see Del Toro getting a nomination, Penn getting a nomination, Tiana Taylor getting a nomination, maybe Chase Infinity. I'm not sure.
You don't think Leonardo is going to get one?
I don't think. Again, I like the performance. I don't think it's some career-defining performance he gave.
I don't either. The Oscars like him enough that he might get a nomination.
He might.
I don't think he'll win, but
I have a couple questions about this movie.
Yeah.
Why did Leonardo DiCaprio's character instill in his daughter so much about like how to escape or find someone you can trust and go with them and that kind of thing? Like, what was her danger?
Well, I think her danger was
protecting her from
Sean Penn.
Well, he didn't know that. Like, he had no idea about Sean Penn, right?
No, he had an encounter with Sean Penn in the first act. Like, Sean Penn was the one who was raiding their camp and everything.
But what does Sean Penn what does Sean Penn care about the daughter? He just wants to arrest Leo DiCaprio.
I mean, I don't want to get into other things. But
Okay.
you're right. To me, I think that Leonardo DiCaprio knew that they were always on the run, right? They were living with assumed names, assumed identities. So, even though
he's
he
on
was
the run.
Yeah, but if he's on the run, that means that his daughter's now on the run. She's on the run by default.
But what's the worst that could happen to her if he got arrested?
I don't know. She gets
I don't know.
taken. Like, she's a minor. She's a ward
Yeah.
of the state. She gets held responsible for
How old is she in this movie, by the way?
That was high school age, like 16.
yeah.
Is she in high school?
Yeah, she's at a dance. That's
Yeah,
when
that's true.
that's when Regina Hall shows up, and like
Mhm.
that's when the whole your cool technology of the things that the radio that makes nice sounds pops off. Yeah,
That's
yeah. So
true.
she is a child. She's a minor,
She doesn't come across as 16 years old as she's doing all the things she's doing.
but that's because Leonardo DiCaprio taught her those things. Are you going to teach your daughter those things? No, you're not on the run. I don't think.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've only known you since you're 8. I'm not sure how those first 7 years.
I could be on the run.
I hope you're not on the run, Zach. I hope you're not in mortal danger from your past life in California. What really
Well-
brought you to Wisconsin?
I probably shouldn't be doing this podcast if I was on the run.
Is Zach even your real name?
It's not, actually.
Is that why your last name's so unique? Because you literally made it up and there's no others in the world.
Possibly.
Okay. All right. Problem solved. Kayla's gonna be kicking butt in 10 years.
That'd be great. I just recently watched Hannah. Now that's a guy who trained his daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that the most trained child movie?
Like spy
Yeah,
training.
like a parent like intentionally training their child to like be able to handle themselves of any movie.
Maybe. Can't think of a better one. As negative as I feel like I've been about this movie, I didn't necessarily hate it. I just it's up against movies that I consider stone cold classics. Anytime PTA makes a movie, I am inevitably going to compare it to his other movies, and his other movies there's like 4 or 5 masterpieces in there, and it's probably unfair, but that's just the fact of life when you make such great movies on average, that a couple of them just aren't going to work and feel more disappointing than they probably really are on paper. I'll probably revisit this one in a year. I wasn't nearly as offended by this one as I was Inherent Vice. Offended, I'm using loosely. I wasn't offended by Inherent Vice. I just did not care for it at all. I can see things in this one that I like. And so now that I know what it is, revisit it later, I'll probably soften on it a little bit, but it'll never be The Master, Magnolia, Boogie Nights. What else am I missing?
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. I feel like there's one more that I would be really hot on.
Yeah, for me, it's
Punch Drunk Love.
oh my god, I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
What about like Phantom Thread?
Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread? Probably like if we're doing a worst list, very worst for me, Inherent Vice. Second worst, this movie. Third worst, Licorice Pizza. Everything else I consider like practically a masterpiece.
What about Heart 8? Have you seen Heart 8?
Heart 8 is a first movie. So I probably cut that one a lot of slack compared to the others. But I'll agree. Probably Heart 8 is somewhere in the mix with those other three.
Sure. One more thing about this movie that stood out to me. Obviously, this movie was being made before our current political climate of the last 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
But how much of this movie's America reflected our current America, I thought to be eerily similar. So much to the fact that I wonder if PTA just has his pulse on the country as a whole, even, a couple years ago, whenever he started working on this movie. 'Cause like in this movie, you have immigration agents who are just doing mass sweeps. They are masked officers. They are using their immigration sweeps as pretenses to do other, even more illegal things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, wow, how much of this movie reflects America currently? You would think that this movie was being made about the current era that we're living in, even though this movie was made, I don't know, I'm not sure when production on this movie started.
January 22nd, 2024.
Okay, so, but not, okay.
That's when it began filming. That was pre-Trump getting reelected.
Yeah. Well, no, he was.
No, it wasn't.
He was elected. That was just after the inauguration.
Oh.
2024?
No, 20.
Oh.
He's only been president for 9 months.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
It feels like a lot longer.
It's been so long, guys. Yeah, so this movie was being made before he was president, before everything that's happening in the last couple of months has been happening. Yet this movie seems to reflect America right now.
Yeah. I mean, if you remember, I know it was a while ago, but we also had ICE, taking people from the streets and wearing masks and, normal people clothes. Back in his first term, it just wasn't nearly as often.
Oh, yeah.
As it is right now and everywhere like it is right now. So he might have been pulling from kind of the first term stuff.
And maybe he just let's extrapolate upon this. And then Mandy hit it on the head with that one.
Yeah, definitely. That was probably the closest to like a reality that I could see. I think maybe like if I had to pontificate on the Sean Penn character, maybe just kind of looking into like masculinity or the perspective of maybe people in power on police forces or whatever, and just kind of, I don't know, reversing an insecurity maybe,
mm-hmm.
and trying to write a story to somebody, kind of like a cliche insecurity that people say police officers have or whatever. I could see him doing that with a couple of the characters. I don't really have a lot of context for the Leonardo DiCaprio character, so maybe that's why it didn't do anything for me. The Benicio del Toro one, like Zach was saying, felt like the only person who was actually accomplishing anything out of anybody who thought they were a revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else felt very performative about it.
Yeah.
He was doing it quietly in the background and actually helping people.
And to speak of that, performative nature of it, Leo DiCaprio's role in the first one we see is to like do explosions and light it up and make
fireworks.
It big and bright.
Yeah.
And it was essentially just fireworks. Like it didn't do anything. It was just a show of fireworks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't serve any purpose.
It just drew attention to the action.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I mean, that's a good point.
If you were there.
Yeah. It's a good point. They're right that Del Toro's character was doing the real work. He had the actual underground network going on. Yeah.
Are these real things? For instance, are there like revolutionary groups that have like all these secret codes and like support networks and stuff like that?
I don't know.
I would say probably, but maybe not as complicated as this one.
Okay.
Like this
And-
seems like a national organization of revolutionaries, and I feel like those are more grassroots and localized.
Sure. And are there like secret like white race like cult groups that like have this like secret hierarchy and stuff?
Yes. I'm going to say yes for sure, but I would feel more confident that, yes, there are powerful white racist men who meet in private rooms to push their agenda than there is a nationalized, organized resistance.
I would agree with that. I think it's like small pockets of people that don't cross organize.
Wait, for which ones? For
as
the
best I can
revolutionaries or
tell.
for the
revolutionaries.
Yeah.
I think it kind of has to be that. Otherwise, it's too easy to unwind.
Yeah.
I thought when I was watching this movie, I kept thinking of that movie, How to Blow Up a Bomb or something. What was that called?
How to blow up a pipeline.
How to
Yeah.
Blow Up a Pipeline. I
Yep.
kept thinking of that movie.
Was that the one that you hated because of the logistics of the actual bombs? Or them lifting a bomb up to the pipeline?
I did not like that. I don't remember if that was the reason, but I also did not like that movie. Yeah.
Okay. You should see what's the name of that movie? It's got the dude from Social Network, the main guy who plays Mark Zuckerberg. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, it's also like an environmental terrorist movie with like revolutionaries in it. And I forget it. I forget the name of it. I'll look it up. Anyway,
Night
that-
Moves.
Night Moves. Yeah, Night Moves. You should see that, Zach.
Okay.
That might be on my watch list because of
Just
James
'cause I'm-
also.
I'm curious. Night Moves has an interesting director. I don't remember who it is, but if you have it pulled up, who's the director?
Oh, not the 1975 version.
Bob Seger. Everyone knows that.
No, it's Kelly Reichardt.
Right, Kelly
Yes.
Reichardt.
This is on my watch list because James also said, "Oh, you should watch the Jesse Eisenberg revolutionary movie." So
Right. And if you know anything about Kelly Reichardt, it's not going to be a normal movie. I mean, this is the Meeks Cutoff, first cow director. So it's going to be kind of the low key version of these movies. There's definitely no action sequences in it that I can recall. But it seems like a more realistic portrayal than I don't know. How to Blow Up Your Pipeline kind of felt realistic to me.
yeah,
Lifting barrels aside, it felt like these people existed and could have connected and come up with a plan. Anyway, yeah, Night Moves. Anything else with one battle after another that we absolutely need to talk about?
no, I think I got everything out I need to say. I do agree, Zach, that chase at the very end, when the camera is like mounts on the hood and it's going over those rolling hills, that was awesome. And Hitchcockian, you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty slick. It was like hypnotic in a way. I enjoyed that whole sequence.
Right, because it's like the road looked endless, yet it had all these dips to it, so you have no idea what was happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And it came after the escape at the swap. It came after the what's his name interrogating her in the nunnery.
Oh,
There's like a sequence of scenes that were really good that built to that rolling hills in the desert scene.
That interrogation in the nunnery is also a great scene.
Yeah.
And just how she's just like is such a mean girl to him.
Yeah, and then we don't have to talk spoilers, but the office scene, we'll call it, was an interesting epilogue. I liked that they put a button on that.
Oh, yeah.
I was curious if that's a reshoot based on like they showed it to audiences and they're like, let's have one more scene.
What, you think that character tested high and then they were like, we really need to
I think so.
Get one more hit out of this.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I'd just be curious.
I think it's entirely possible. And also, I think PTA is also a director that might not care about test screenings. Just does what he wants.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I see that scene playing into the character of his obsession of being in this group.
Right.
And, he's like, oh, more opportunities.
He clearly sees other things as like good or potentially good, but like he can't get out of his need to belong to this specific group.
Yeah.
And it just blinds him to all the possibilities outside of that need. Not that the movie's really focused on that, but I think taking his character as a microcosm, I thought you could make a whole movie just following around that guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we all agree that he is more interesting than DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Character.
I could have seen an entire movie with the Del Toro character too.
Yep.
And just kind of like how he forms that underground, and I don't know. There was a lot to mine there. Cool. All right, let's letterbox 5 out of 5 stars. One battle after another. What are you guys gonna give it?
I'm gonna go 4.5.
All right.
I'd probably go 3.5.
I am also 3.5. So 2 3.5s and a 4.5 for one battle after another. Next, 2/3 of the people on this podcast are going to talk Tron Ares right after this clip.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to meet Ares. This is the most sophisticated security program ever written. You want to shake his hand? Go ahead. He doesn't bite. Ares has billions of lines of code unique to him. Is it alive? That depends on your definition, Stuart. Because unlike you, he's biblically strong, lightning fast, and supremely intelligent. He is fully proprietary and 100% expendable. Ares is the ultimate soldier. He needs no food, no water, sheds no blood. And if by some miracle he is struck down on the battlefield, I will simply make you another.
That was Tron: Ares, a 2025 American science fiction action film. This movie was directed by Joachim Roning, I think. It's got one of those O's with the slash through it. What does that mean?
I believe that is like O. So it's like it is Roning.
Roning. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. This movie stars Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Evan Peters, Jodie Turner-Smith, Hassan Minhaj, Gillian Anderson, and Jeff Bridges, amongst others, but mostly them for sure. The official IMDb plot synopsis for Tron Ares is: a highly sophisticated program, Ares, is sent from the digital world into the real world on a dangerous mission. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty bare bones description.
Definitely. Yeah, so Tron Ares, the sequel to 2011's Tron Legacy, I think.
Yeah, I believe it's 2011.
Yeah, so we're talking 13 years since the last Tron, and the very first Tron, there was like 30 years between that, nearly 25, something like that.
82 was the first one.
Okay, so 29 years between the first and the follow-up.
Correct, yes. Yep.
Yeah, so they didn't wait quite as long, but they waited a while, that's for sure.
Yeah, were you anticipating or expecting a sequel or a follow-up to Tron Legacy?
Well, I definitely wasn't expecting a follow-up to Tron Legacy.
Okay.
Meaning like a direct sequel. And I guess this is kind of a direct sequel, but not really. I mean, you could have not seen Tron Legacy.
Right. I mean, this takes place in the same universe as Tron Legacy. It's not a reboot in the sense of like we're starting the whole story over.
Yeah.
But I agree. It's not like there's big plot threads from Tron Legacy that carry over into. I mean, they recast the entire movie between the two.
Yeah, with Tron, it's more since the original movie and now its sequels are so spread out. It's almost like they can't do direct sequels because they've just waited so long, or at least that's my guess as to why they've formulated these in the way they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tron Ares, just like Tron Legacy, certainly has links, has themes that are in line with the series, but there's really only one character that carries over, and that's the character that is most famous from these movies.
Yeah.
I mean? You're talking, what's his name's?
Old Jeff Bridges.
Character. Yeah, Jeff Bridges. I forget his character name. I always, when I was a kid, I used to call him Tron. It wasn't till I was, old enough to know better to realize that Jeff Bridges' character is not Tron.
He's not Tron, no. And Tron, my son and I rewatched the original Tron a couple weeks ago, and I had forgotten so much of that movie, including what or who Tron was.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's right. Tron is a character in these movies, at least in the first movie.
Yeah, I mean, he's a character in the second movie too, played by the same actor and everything. But
very briefly, I thought, in the second movie.
Just yeah. He wasn't the focus of the movie. He's never been the focus of these movies.
Yeah, I don't know why the movie's called Tron. Besides, it sounds cool, and like for 1982, it's an electronic movie. Like I understand why it's called Tron from a marketing perspective. If you're trying to sell this movie with new cutting edge computer graphics and something that looks different, but they just called the movie like The Grid, and it would have been totally fine. Also, The Grid Legacy, The Grid Ares, it worked just the same.
Yeah. Do you think in the early 80s when they were writing the script for Tron and coming up with character names, they were just like, what are computers? They're just electronics. We'll call it Tron.
Right. And like Jeff Bridges' avatar is called Clue, I think. It's like
Interesting.
KLU or CLU or something.
Sure.
When's the last time you saw the original Tron?
It's been a little while, but
Okay.
not probably as long as most people. Like I watched Tron once a decade at minimum.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've probably seen the original Tron. Oh, I don't know, a couple dozen times my lifetime, of which the majority was like when I was under 14 years of age.
Oh, yeah. Like for me, it was a VHS staple.
Yeah. Same with me.
Yeah.
For me, it was a VHS staple. Recorded off of a free preview weekend of the Disney Channel.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, the other thing that kind of blows my mind, we'll talk about Tron Ares here in a minute, but the other thing that blows
It's
my
more some setup, yeah.
for sure, blows my mind about Tron is that they built a ride at Walt Disney World here around Tron off the back of Tron: Legacy bombing in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure I understood that decision.
But isn't it like one of their most popular rides?
It is, because it's a good ride. But I
Yeah.
think the vast majority of people who get in line in that ride haven't even seen a Tron movie.
Yes. The last time I was at Disney, we didn't do Tron Legacy. We didn't do the Tron ride because one of our group members was too short to be with kids.
Mhm.
But we did Space Mountain, and Space Mountain dumps you into the gift store for Tron.
Sure.
And yeah, there's all these like action figures and light cycles, all this Tron stuff, and I thought it was cool. And like Galen thought they looked cool, but I was like, do kids know what Tron is? Like, do they care about Tron? Besides the fact that they look cool,
Sure.
it's not like it's a Power Ranger.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the one property that Disney really wants to be a thing. And just, they're 3 movies in now. And while the first one I think has some like, I don't know, cultural cachet, you know what I mean? It's very of the time. It's forward thinking when it comes to computers. It was interesting. Not only like the effects too were unique and kind of groundbreaking in their own way at the time. But ever since then, I mean, I like Tron Legacy as an action sci-fi movie. It's in my top 100.
It's a top 100 movie for you. Like,
I like it a lot, but I understand why other people don't. And a lot of their criticisms I share. I just don't think it's as big a deal as some people thought it was. And that's fine, even if they continue to hold that opinion to this day. But, and I was ready for Tron Ares. You know what I mean? I'm not like a hardcore fan. I'm not walking around with Tron in a Tron costume and showing up, the first night or anything.
All you do is talk about Tron before every podcast.
But I like the original. I am nostalgically tied to it. I gave the second one a good shot and liked it a lot. I am the person you want to love this movie. You know what I mean? The hardcores, they're going to like it no matter what. And I'm primed to like this. On top of that, 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's the other, they're like, okay, 80s movie. Let's get a band that the older millennials and Gen X love.
Absolutely.
Right. It's a Gen X older millennial movie, Gen X older millennial band. All the pieces are falling in place for the 35 and over crowd to like this movie.
Yeah. One of the lasting things from Tron Legacy was that Daft Punk soundtrack.
Yeah.
That charted. They released a Unblessed by Daft Punk remix album. They clearly, what cultural cachet Tron Legacy has is directly tied to Daft Punk's musical output and nothing else, basically. So I was hoping the same for the 9 Inch Nails inclusion, and that's where we are. Tron Ares. What'd you think of it?
So, like I said, I rewatched Tron and Tron Legacy before seeing this, mostly because my son was interested in seeing it, and I thought he could deal with some background.
Sure.
Not that you need it, but hey, here's an excuse to watch Tron again, and sure, why not? Let's watch Tron Legacy. Going backwards, I'll say watching Tron Legacy a second time, I didn't change my rating of it, but I found more of it to like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's mostly the soundtrack and the visuals are awesome.
With the exception of the face replacements.
Well, okay, yes. The face replacements are atrocious is a kind word because they look real bad.
Distracting is another word.
Yes, distractingly bad.
I mean, if your effects are going to be bad in a movie that's all about the effects, you know what I mean? That's one of the selling points. Just don't make them so bad they're distracting.
Yeah. There's oh, cool, we can do face replacement. Well, you can, but should you?
Is it good enough quite yet? It wasn't in 2011, clearly.
No, it was not. But I enjoyed my rewatch of Tron Legacy. I think just because I kind of knew what I was getting into. So I'm going to focus on the good stuff. And then rewatching Tron, the original, was fun for a nostalgia purpose. Because if you asked me a month ago, what's Tron? I'm like, oh yeah, Tron was light cycles and disc games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first half hour of the movie. And then there's a whole other plot going on, which I totally forgot about the corporate espionage aspect of it. And break, in my memory, it was oh yeah, a guy gets stuck in a computer and forced to play games. That was my memory of that movie. So it's fun to watch it again, but Tron is not it's not an amazing movie. It's it looks cool. And you said, it's got this cultural cachet because of what it did to effects and also the amount of work, the amount of practical effects and handwork that went into making that movie. Mm-hmm. But it's not you're watching 2001: A Space Odyssey or something. It's not, I don't think it broke the mold of movies when it was made. It just looked really cool and has an awesome soundtrack by Wendy Carlos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the soundtracks I think are probably its most lasting legacy.
100%, yes.
Certainly the first two. It remains to be seen on this third one, but I think not to the extent that Daft Punk certainly, lasted. I think this new soundtrack from 9 Inch Nails will definitely outlive the movie itself.
Oh, yes, I completely agree.
So
yeah, I mean, I guess going into that, I was hoping for I want some cool visuals set to awesome music.
Mm-hmm.
And if I won't be distracted by anything any bad face replacements. If I get those things, I'm going to be happy. Maybe my expectations were low, but Tron Ares delivered what I was looking for from this movie.
Okay. Nice.
I did see it in 3D IMAX, so that probably didn't hurt, right?
Sure.
To get that full frame. There's at the very beginning, the camera's swirling around all these sort of news heads, like talking heads, doing basically a catch up of what's happened the last 11 years. And I got dizzy at that point just because like the camera's spinning and I'm watching IMAX and like my whole field of vision is just that. So
Sure.
I was like, oh, this has been a while. But yeah, I mean, this movie, it opens with Tron, or with Ares is fighting, right? It's awesome black costume with the red accents. I thought the fight choreography was really cool. The movie takes place mostly in our world, the real world, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole plot idea is that the bad guys figured out how to take what's programs on the grid and essentially 3D print them in the real world. But they only last for 29 minutes. And that's sort of the whole plot device is, can permanence be made? Can permanence be made to keep these, 3D printed computer programs alive, quote unquote, in the real world in perpetuity? And seeing a light cycle racing through like the streets of New York or whatever, cutting things in half with its beam behind it, that was awesome. With Nine Inch Nails rocking on the background, I was like, this is cool. I'm really liking this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe I'm going easy on the movie just because I just wanted lights and sounds. And this movie gave me a lot of lights and sounds, but I thought it did it all very well. Where I was at no point was I very bored. I was definitely enjoying the movie through the whole time. I have some gripes with it. This is not going to be a 5-star review by any stretch of the imagination.
Sure.
But I think just from like a pure enjoyment level, I was all in on just having a good time with this movie.
Nice. I had a good viewing experience, but not the ideal one, kind of like what you're describing.
Yeah.
Ended up seeing just in a regular, average size theater, no Dolby, no IMAX, no 3D. I was going with 2 other people, and that's just how the timing, that's just how the timing happened. So, so I didn't get all those benefits from it. What's interesting is what you've just told me is essentially the same opinion of the other 2 people I saw the movie with.
Okay.
They had a good time with it. They didn't take it too seriously. The visuals were there. The music was bumping. They had fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was their opinion. When I left, I was just like, I felt like I had just watched like a 2-hour music video.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment of this movie.
Yeah, that's set to like cool, visuals, futuristic visuals and action sequences. Occasionally they would dip into some pretty cringy dialogue and stuff like that. But for the most part, the soundtrack in this movie is louder than anything I've ever experienced.
Oh, it was for me. It was super bassy. Also, I don't know about your theater, but like, man, that theater was rumbling, and it was in your face for sure.
Yeah, it reminded me of how they kind of like take music and edit it to trailers, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of felt like one long trailer where you're just kind of getting snippets of dialogue to tell you the story mixed in with like front forward music.
Yes.
Not even score, just like what felt like actual music. Like songs, basically.
Right. It's not background music. Like I would say most of the action sequences, they have, Foley, whatever sounds going on, but I think it's mostly Nine Inch Nails is what you hear up front.
Right. Yeah. And as a big fan of Nine Inch Nails and Trent Reznor, and to an extent Atticus Ross, that was fine. It was good. It was like a good version of that. And I kind of missed. This is the stuff that people think is boring about Tron.
Okay.
But I kind of missed the messages of these movies, which didn't. I'm sure it's present in this one. It just wasn't front and center like it is on in the other 2. They're not like solid, like in your face social messages, but it's there. You know what I mean? It's masked in this computer speak and stuff like that. Back in the day, it was like speak that nobody had actually heard. Nobody knew what a master computer was. They didn't know why one of the characters was named Ram in the original because nobody had a computer at home in 1984.
Right. It wasn't common vernacular.
Right. I'm not sure RAM is even common vernacular today. I think probably in the 90s and to an extent the early 2000s it was. But now that everybody uses cell phones and MacBook Airs. Like, you're never replacing your RAM.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I have a new MacBook Air, and Zach asked me, "Oh, what's the RAM on that thing?" I'm like, enough. Like, I have no idea what the RAM is. Like,
Right.
It does what I need it to do. So
Yeah. So I think probably that's why they dropped most of that stuff, is because, like, who cares? Like, your most of your movie going audience is like, we don't care if it has a bunch of computer speak that we don't understand in it. So they got rid of it. Yeah, I'm probably criticizing it more than my star rating is going to reflect. I just kind of felt like they took the wrong lesson from the first two.
okay.
And that lesson was, get a music artist that is going to be attached to this property. You know what I mean? Use that to drive the promotion of it and to get butts in the seat. Two, they didn't have, short of Jeff Bridges, they didn't have like a young up and coming or even like already famous star at the center of it.
I mean, I would say Greta Lee was your young and up and coming.
Right.
But
no,
she's
I'm saying in Legacy. They didn't have anything
no,
that.
yeah. Well, okay. Legacy had Garrett Hedlund.
But he wasn't like, he's not Jared Leto. No
He's
offense.
boring though. Like, I find him so boring in Legacy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, they may have been banking on him becoming a thing, but it wasn't Tron Legacy that was going to do it for him.
No,
for sure.
No.
So I think that was the other lesson, was like with Tron Ares, they're going to get somebody that I guess has a name. And then everybody thought the kind of like philosophical computer I was going to say
Gobbledygook.
Garbage. I don't know. Whatever. The terminology they used in the movie and some of the themes were boring compared to the action sequences. So in this movie, it felt like they dropped the vast majority of those things. They got Jared Leto in the main role, and they got a new artist. New, quote, new.
I mean,
band that's
new
been
to the
around
series,
since
yeah.
1988. But a new band that they could really kind of drive the marketing behind.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And there was just nothing to hang my hat on beyond that. They did no facial replacement. They did nothing dodgy with the effects.
It seems like you and I have the exact same factual opinion of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they gave me visuals. They gave me 9 Inch Nails. I loved it. And you're like, they only gave me visuals. They only gave you 9 Inch Nails. Well, you were missing something.
I'm not against those two things.
Yeah. You wanted the third thing.
No, the two, one of them that they have and one of them that they jettisoned for this movie are the things that I missed. Not even missed. Jared Leto being at the center, he's just so a nothing in this movie. They gave no motivation for him.
Yeah.
Or like he there's a turn that he makes in the movie and it was like, why should I even care?
I felt the same way. Like, he's playing it. So Jared Leto plays Ares, which is this AI, and it's this AI that it works for the bad guy, but then it comes around and wants to be good and it wants permanence. So it's Pinocchio essentially. It's like it wants to be a real boy. Jared Leto plays it so flat that I did not care if Ares became a real boy or not.
Right.
Like, okay, cool, great. It gets what it wants or it doesn't. I had not that I need huge emotional stakes in a Tron movie, but at no point was I worried about the fate of Ares, Jared Leto character.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's a Tron movie without the Kevin Flynn character, right? The character that Jeff Bridges played in the original Tron.
Right, who gets like stuck in the computer.
Right. He's your fish out of water, right? He's the eyeballs of the audience. You're experiencing the story through this normal person in a digital world. Then they extended that to Garrett Hedlund in Legacy. It didn't work as well as Jeff Bridges, certainly, but the formula was there.
It's pretty much the same thing. He was again stuck in the grid. Yeah,
exactly. And then in this movie, I mean, Greta Lee, is she your Kevin Flynn?
No, I mean, she's briefly in the grid,
right?
But it's not. It's like a 20-minute sequence. Like, she's not stuck in there. She gets rescued.
Right.
Yeah, it's this movie was way more interested in putting the grid in the real world, which looks cool, but when you know, well, all these things are going to disintegrate in 29 minutes, you don't really feel the danger of, our heroes are being chased.
Yeah.
They're not being chased by Michael Myers. They're being chased by an ice cube that's melting in the sun.
The other thing I really didn't like was, a complaint I have.
Yeah.
Is that they really lost worlded this movie where they're just like, yes, we're going to put Tron in the real world, but guess what? You only get 1 or 2 of Tron things in the real world at one time. You know what I mean? It is totally like T-Rex and the T-Rex in inhabited, LA or
San
wherever
Diego,
it was,
yeah.
San Diego, but like only a T-Rex, right? They've never brought dinosaurs again into the real world that I can remember. If they did, it's the recent forgettable ones. I guess they brought the hybrid dinosaurs in that one that was like a haunted house style.
Oh, whatever, the second one, the middle one. Yeah.
Anyway, the point is,
who cares?
If they ever did it, it didn't matter. And I was just waiting for the sequence at the end with like Tron stuff all over the place. You know what I mean? It's all invading, and now like the world has to defend itself against the Tron stuff. And instead we just got like little tiny stories of certain people interacting with Tron stuff.
Yeah,
and,
there's like one rectifier, that square shaped thing.
Yeah.
The claw ship. There's like one of those.
There's 2 light cycles.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. And then eventually 2. And then there was that little dune buggy or whatever. The point is, that stuff was cool. I'm on board. It was cool. The sequence with the light cycles specifically was very cool through the city. But that was like halfway through the movie. You know what I mean? And if that's the coolest thing you have to offer me, put it at the end, because I was expecting there to be some kind of buildup to a much bigger thing because you put that in the middle of the movie.
Yep.
And instead, and Tron movies do this. You described the first Tron movie. It's like the stuff that most people remember from that movie is front loaded, and then the back is all the philosophical stuff.
Same for Legacy. Legacy's yep.
Same for Legacy. And this one, maybe they're doing it again. They're front loading kind of in the first half, all the stuff people are going to remember. And then the back half, instead of filling with philosophy, they just started building stuff a lot. And then there's like the mother-son relationship with the bad guy, and the Greta Lee stuff gets more intense and stuff like that. It's just kind of like, okay. I don't know. I think the movie lost me at that point as a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's kind of like a 9 Inch Nails concert, music video.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I was enjoying the music and the pretty lights, but it was so disposable for me.
Yeah,
and,
I could.
And that makes me sad, because even if the Tron movies aren't remembered as like the peak of cinema, at least they seem to have something there for the people that wanted there to be something there. And this one just felt like, I don't know, Fast 9 or whatever, where it's like, okay, so you're out of ideas. I understand. You know what I mean? We're just going to do more of the same.
It's like, what if we have light cycles in the real world? Like, okay, what else you got?
Even that I think is cool. It's just there was no escalation of that basic premise. There was no like, this is bad or this is good because of what it implies, or I don't know. It was odd.
I don't know. There was, for me, the cool scene where there is some ship in the real world. This is towards the end, and it shot out like 100 drones.
Yeah,
that all had the tails behind them. I thought that was. I mean, I could have used like 100 of those ships doing that. That would have looked even cooler.
Yeah,
but that's something where it's like, oh, that's a cool big idea that they could have. I agree. They could have made the ending more, I don't want to say explosive, but right, just blow it out. Like, all of the grid is now in the real world.
Yeah. We probably should have put a spoiler warning at the beginning of this.
It's,
but,
I don't know.
It's not that kind of movie.
It's not that kind of movie. Yeah.
It really is not that kind of movie. The other stuff I liked visually, that kind of felt like a waste ultimately, was all the revisiting of the Tron look and feel of the original from the 80s. I thought the small amount of time we got to spend in that world was like just a nice turn visually from what we had been looking at. But again, it's very pointless unless you just want to see Jeff Bridges in the movie.
To me, it just felt perfunctory. Like, okay, we have to go into the old grid. We have to have Jeff Bridges appear.
Yeah.
And then he's in there for like 5 minutes. He's in there, he gets some wisdom from Jeff Bridges, and then pops back out to go win the day.
Yeah.
And then, right. And you have charming Jeff Bridges, who's, like being himself, acting against like Jared Leto, who's like, I enjoyed Depeche Mode. And it's just, you're like, oh yeah, this is what good acting looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jared Leto, I think he was actually doing something. He was trying to kind of be like, I don't know,
a
like
computer
a cold calculating computer program. So I don't necessarily fault him for the performance. It just, Tron in the original one was also a computer program, and yet he had some more humanity to him that I could feel.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for an example of that in Legacy, but
spoiler for Legacy, Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, for sure. She was like a curious computer program.
Exactly. Yeah.
In that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And she wanted to know about the world and all that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of bummed. I mean, I'm sure we'll get more Tron. I'm not sure it'll be on the big screen.
I don't know if we'll get more Tron. Yeah, the big screen. Like we might get like Tron TV show or Tron cartoon on Disney or whatever, but
yeah. I think that's the future of Tron. It's just too expensive. It's too big a roll of the dice. They've had 2, even 3, if you want to say the first one was like a financial failure.
I think the first one flopped.
Yeah. They've done this 3 times with decades in between, and it just has not worked. And so I don't think it's going to completely go away because, again, they got a roller coaster about it. They're invested on some level. But this one just didn't work for me. I want to watch it again, maybe in a few years from now that I know what it is and what it isn't. Maybe it'll play a little differently the second time. But also, Jared Leto, like, man, if I had a contract signed with that guy, but we haven't filmed yet, I'm out.
Yeah, he seems to be just everything he's doing is bombing right now. And I don't know if there's a backlash to Jared Leto or what the deal is.
I don't think anybody has ever That's a little too definitive. I don't think a big enough amount of people like Jared Leto enough to go see a movie because he's in it.
Yeah,
he's kind of like the ones that he's been successful at in the last decade are like Blade Runner 2049. He's perfectly fine in that movie.
Such a minor portion of that movie.
He is not the reason anybody likes that movie or went to see it.
No.
I like him in Dallas Buyers Club. I like him in Requiem for a Dream. Even Mr. Nobody. He's not the worst thing about that movie. You know what I mean? Like there are movies where I can be like, Jared Leto can act. Give him a good script, a good director. Let him go with it. When he was in the Ridley Scott movie about Gucci or whatever, about that family.
Oh, House of whatever.
Yeah, House of...
I haven't seen it, but I know
House of Gucci, I think.
There it is, yeah.
Yep. He's so weird in that movie, but fun to watch. So I'm not necessarily hating on the acting skills of Jared Leto. It's just between Morbius and this. They're just 2 back-to-back huge bombs where he is the face of these movies. And I don't know. I hope he's kind of done as the leading man in these things and he can go back to just kind of quirky, a part of an ensemble type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if he was ever a leading man. Because even Dallas Buyers Club, he won for supporting, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And when they do the Legacy reboot of My So-Called Life, we'll see him in that.
Was he in My So-Called Life? I never seen that.
Oh, I used to watch that. That was an MTV show.
Sure.
I watched it all the time. I was in middle school, but it was Claire Danes, it was Jared Leto, And I was like, yeah, this is what high school is going to be like. It was so, like, some people watch like Degrassi. I watched My So-Called Life, and that was what I thought high school was going to be. And yeah, and Jared Leto was a main character on My So-Called Life.
Sure. Interesting. Cool. All right. Anything else? Tron : Ares. Do you recommend this for just people who don't care about Tron? Because it's going to be people who like sci-fi, kind of popcorny sci-fi. I kind of feel like they would probably have fun with it.
Yeah, I think if you like, the soundtrack. The soundtrack to me gave me strong like Blade Runner original, like Vangelis vibes.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
I'm gonna get nerdy. The Nine Channels is using a sound of like saw waves in this, and saw waves like that really harsh, buzzy electronic sound. And I associate that very much with like 80s techno music.
Sure.
So I think they are definitely trying to channel an era with their soundtrack.
Yeah, I saw a video of somebody talking about the 3 different soundtracks and how in the most recent one, Trent and Atticus had like kind of taken more inspiration from Wendy Carlos, the original composer on the 1984 version, and then had taken very subtle cues from the Daft Punk version.
Yeah.
I think because they didn't want to be accused of like, ripping an artist that is very popular even to this day.
Right. You can take influence from Wendy Carlos and say we're being influenced by a great.
Right.
If you take influence to Daft Punk, then it's being called ripped off. So
yeah. I mean, I really like the soundtrack. I've listened to the soundtrack outside of the movie, probably a dozen times now.
Same here. Yeah.
I will continue to listen to it long after I've forgotten this movie, just like I did with the Daft Punk soundtrack. I remember I used to listen to Daft Punk like once a day, to that soundtrack once a day while I began working in the morning. It was like the perfect
just like
working music.
Yep.
Yeah, because almost no lyrics, electronic, fast paced for the most part, back and forth, slow, fast paced. And I think this soundtrack will do the same for me. I just can't imagine I'll think about this movie all that often like I did with Legacy. So,
All right. I'm going to give this a 3.5.
I also gave it a 3.5.
Like I thought you'd be a 3.
No, I mean the missing point and a half is mostly just things that I expected from the movie because of the pattern of the other two, and they're just missing in this. They're not there. And I know most people, that's what they don't like about these movies, or the things that I liked.
Yeah.
And so in one sense, I would be like, well, I guess I'm wrong. In the other sense, look at the box office.
Right. The box office proves you're right.
And it's not like it's growing week over week.
No.
So it's not like people are going to it and being so blown away that they have to tell friends. Much like when Fury Road came out. The first weekend of Fury Road was fine. It did fine at the box office, but people who had never seen the original Mad Max movies went and told their friends how awesome Fury Road was.
Right.
They're not doing that for Tron Ares.
No, Fury Road grew. Yeah,
Right.
This one not growing. No.
Yeah. It's just I think it's a better than passable action movie, but certainly not a spectacular one. And it's definitely not a spectacular Tron movie, in my opinion. So, okay, 2 3.5s for Tron: Ares. Thank you for listening to this episode 701 of the Cinereelists podcast. As usual, we appreciate your listenership. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget, there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out. Support us on Patreon. Leave us an Apple Podcast review or send us an email. Links are in the description of this episode to do any and all of those things. You could also follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at Cinereelists, or follow me on my personal Blue Sky or Letterboxd account at YoJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Shaban.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Peter SKB.
Next week, we will be back with A House of Dynamite on Netflix, which comes out next Friday. It's the new Catherine Bigelow movie. I don't know anything about it other than it's a fictional, apocalyptic, political thriller.
Things about rogue nuclear weapons.
Oh, okay. Nice. Amazing. Look who joined us.
One of my cats is very curious what
What's the name of that cat?
This is Stripes.
Stripes wanted to know what was going on.
Oh yeah, no. Stripes is like the sweet, lovable, cute one who just wants to cuddle.
Uh-huh.
And Noodle will look into your soul and tell you the day you will die.
It's the evil cat. The other
No,
one?
not evil. No. Just like
Sure.
has a connection with the other side. Like,
Interesting.
if anything can see a ghost, Noodle can see a ghost for sure.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Interesting.
They're both sweet. I like them both. Noodle's not evil whatsoever. Noodle just has this energy of, I'm a 3,000-year-old Egyptian god who's come back to live amongst you mortals.
Nice. Awesome. She's got an air about her, huh? That
Yeah.
one is like a little more naive and a little more cuddly.
Oh yeah, no, this one's just like, I want to play with string and snuggle.
Sure. Yeah. Nice. All right. So yeah, homework for you listeners. If you want to see what we're seeing, check out A House of Dynamite next Friday, October 24th on Netflix. That's what we're going to be talking about. And we'll see you guys there. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.